Well, good morning, and I know I say it, but there's a lot of truth, and really good to be with the team today and to get started on this week. And we get to choose the direction that we go, and certainly, I like and I'm confident in the group that we have, and we're going to make this a great week of preparation so that we can go out and play our best. But I get energy from our guys, and we know the things that we need to do to play better football, and our players know it too, and there's a focus on doing that, and we get to go do it, and with a group of guys that have a lot of character in them, and a group that cares about each other, and a group that loves playing this game. So actually was excited to get going with them today.
Well, we'll get to talk to Grant in a little bit. Can you walk us through the timeline of what you guys learned Saturday night and share whatever you can about how badly he was banged up?
Yeah, obviously when it happened, you get the initial taking Graham in, take a look at him, and then at some point they need to go to kind of get a better evaluation to the hospital. And then I had a chance to speak with him Saturday night. Tried calling. He was busy in it, and you can only have one in the hospital, and that was his mom was there. And had a good chance to talk with him Saturday night, and obviously saw him yesterday. And so all the tests, I have to be careful because I'm not a doctor, but he's good that way, and was good today, and obviously get through the week. You can kind of see what we do on Monday is as much as we'll do on Tuesday.
Paul, your run game was really effective against Eastern Michigan. Hasn't necessarily found the same level of success in the other games. At this point, what are you seeing from that group? Is it a matter of holes not being open, or are there some things you think they can collectively do to perform at a higher level?
Yeah, I think that it's always, I think when you say collectively, that resonated with me because it takes everyone. And I know I've said that before, but it really does. You know what I mean? And it's certainly the offensive line and the backs are going to get a lot of the focus of the attention on it, good and bad. And yet, we play with tight ends, we play with fullbacks, we ask our receivers to be a big part of it. The quarterback's got to be a part of it. So that's what I mean when it takes everyone, and therefore I think it is a collective effort. And I'm confident in our guys, where they're at with it and how we're going about it. Do we need to be better? Absolutely. That's not what I'm saying, right? But I do feel good about, we know what we got to do. And in each week, you're going to be challenged differently. Different defenses, different schemes that you're going to face, and that's part of the preparation. But it's absolutely a group effort, and heck, you can even take it another step further. And if you're throwing the ball effectively, then you can maybe force the defense to do something different schematically. That gives you an advantage, maybe back that way. So it's absolutely a group collective effort.
Kind of a follow-up to that. I know he has a very small resume, Braylon Allen hasn't played a lot, but there are a couple of runs where he hit the hole really hard and gave you a push that maybe the other backs physically can't. Is he getting close to the point, or has he reached the point in your mind where maybe we need to give him the ball a little more frequently to at least try to help spark that run again?
Yeah, and there's no question. I think not only did everyone see it, but you feel it too. When you're not just watching it, but when you're playing. And I think that certainly had done enough to get to that, right? And so I think that his trajectory keeps going up that way, and can give us something that maybe is a little bit different. Absolutely.
Well, kind of sticking with the backfield there, do you feel like you're getting enough from your running backs in terms of pass protection?
You know, it's again, it takes a lot of guys to do it. You know, and I'm trying to accurately answer it. I'm not trying to dodge, but you know, you can't walk away from the last game we played and say, yeah, we're right where we want to be, right? We've got to clean up, and yet it does. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it does take everyone, you know, and can the backs be better? Absolutely, you know, in certain moments, right? And it's working with the line, and at times with the tight ends, and then you all know that is the route and the route running, you know, the route concept running, giving them a chance, right? It is again, that's what's really awesome about this game is it does take everyone. You know, can we be better? Specifically to your question, can we be better? I believe we absolutely can be better.
Paul, from your opening comments too, it just seems like there's this newfound energy after the last game too. You know, did something happen? Did you say something? Did the guys say something in the locker room? What is it specifically, if you could pinpoint this vibe?
Well, I think it's, you know, there's a number of things. You know, it's you know, I've always said it, and I won't tell you as much as I believe, right? But I do, I appreciate and I value this group, and I like the response. And you know, we've gone through a stretch that can be hard, right? And when you go through that, it reveals certain characteristics, and yeah, I do get energy from their responses, and we do choose to rally together, and we do choose to find ways that we can progress, and I think that's the way you have to approach it, the way you want to approach it. You know, this is no one here ever thought it would be easy, and now we're being forced with it, and but to do it together. You know, we get to play a game this week, and I get to do it with this team, and yeah, that does energize me.
Well, we've heard from a couple of players after the last two games apologizing to the alumni and former players. I know the relationships that you build with those guys, and you know, goes beyond when they're here. Have you heard from past players, and if so, what are those conversations like?
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, they know all that goes into it. You're talking about past players, and we all respect what was done before here, and we all know that this place is what it is because of those that came before, and now we're on it, you know, it's our time, right? We're on it, and that's what leads you to, there's a responsibility that you want to live up to. You want to show your appreciation by doing it. At the same time, that group also gives you a feeling, and some vocally and flat out, that they also support. They've been through it. There's not one guy that hasn't gone through this program that hasn't gone through tough or challenging times. And so I think there's also an appreciation for what you're going through, and I think that's why that creates kind of that, there's a bond that you want to honor and live up to. And that's why I think that for us right now, you want to do all you can to make them proud, and yet also don't feel like that. I feel like they're with us too, and they know it, and that's why you continue then to go back to, you want to do what you can to represent well.
Sure. Brett, you spent a lot of time, Paul, you spent a lot of time with Brett. I know the scheme's different, and he's early in his tenure down there, but do you see characteristics that are similar to some of his teams here?
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I think in knowing him and what he values in his team, you know, you're seeing that on film, and obviously, you know, a lot of respect for him, and I think he's put together a really good staff, and I think, yeah, you do see it.
Okay. Paul, when it comes to on the punting side, Andy, averaged about 45 yards per punt last weekend. On the season's about 40, a little bit over 47. Just what strides have you seen him, through 4 games this year that, improvements from his game even from a year before where, he stood up too?
Yeah, and I think, he and that group, it's, they've been good in many ways, right? And yet, there's not one person, not one unit, not one phase that we can't continue to keep working. And I think that's what we all appreciate, not just about Boo, but I think everyone in this team values that we're all in this thing, and we all got room for growth, and that's the task at hand. And because we're going to be better, if we're all better, then we're better together, and I think that's, this team cares about each other, and I think a great way to reflect the way that you care is, you doing your part, and who's doing that. And there's been some great efforts up front and in front of him, but he's been good.
Paul, we've heard a lot of players talk about the energy that Leo Chanel brings to the defense and to the team as a whole.
Yep.
What do you think are the best examples that you've seen of him doing that, kind of being that energetic guy that brings the team up a little bit?
I think the best thing that he does is he's authentic as could be, and every moment he steps onto that field, he has that same mindset. He loves playing the game and attacks every day, work, and he enjoys playing, and it's the way he carries himself and the way he approaches it can be contagious. It's infectious, and he's a great teammate, but he's all, you talk about being all in. That guy is all in on every play, everything he's doing.
Well, you mentioned tight ends in the run blocking as well. Last year, Rucci got, I think, a considerable amount of work when you needed, not as much this year. Is that just coach's decision, or is maybe does he have an ailment that we just don't know about that you guys are? Because I know he's getting a little work on special teams. Yeah, no, Rucci's been healthy and he's been working, and I think part of it's been the progression also of Esh, and certainly with Ferg, and Clay's had some moments, and so it's probably a combination of all that. John has been doing some stuff a little bit closer to the line as well, so you kind of run into a little bit just of snaps, but Ruch has been working and appreciating the work he's putting in, and we'll continue to work, and we're gonna, how it goes, we're gonna need them all.